Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the presentation titled Experiencing the Quantum Energy Field. And before we get started, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Joseph Drumheller. I am a master hypnotherapist and an instructor for Arhanta Online. I've been at this work since 1991, and I spent 6 years perfecting my craft by working in a cancer radiation clinic. I'm also a quantum energy healer, and I'm an advocate for soul evolution. I'm a four-time award-winning author, and I am the founder of JDH Academy of Wellness, and I work in affiliation with Arhanta Online. So it's a very nice setup. So before we get started, a couple thank yous are in order. First, I'd like to thank Arhanta Online for helping me promote this event, because without their help, many of you may not be here today, so thanks to them. And then I'd like to say thanks to you for showing up today. So I really appreciate you sharing your time with me, and this is a very exciting topic, so I hope you enjoy it. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to give a presentation and a talk here for about 30 to 45 minutes. And it's going to be on the topic of what quantum energy is and then how to experience it. And then at the end, I'll take us through a meditation where we'll all get to experience the quantum energy field. And for anyone who's interested after the meditation, I'll stick around for questions and answers. And also, I want to let you know that this presentation is being recorded, so it'll be available for replay. So just watch out for the announcements for that. Okay, before we get started, I have a little confession to make, and that is that when I give presentations like these, I have a tendency to get a little nervous. And so what I would like to do to mitigate my level of anxiety is to take us all through a little experience or a little exercise here. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath. Just take a deep healing and cleansing and breath. And start to allow the cares of the day to start to slip away. And take another deep breath. And just really start to slow down and to let go a little bit. And as you're relaxing more and more deeply, what I would like you to do is to call up a memory. And the memory I'd like you to call up is the memory of the best day of your life. Maybe you got some recognition or an award in your career. Maybe it was your wedding day. Maybe you came into some unexpected money. Perhaps it was the birth of a child. Or maybe you got in some great relationship. Or perhaps you had some phenomenal experience in the arts. You went to a great concert, saw a wonderful performance. Or maybe you had some fantastic experience out in nature. But whatever it is, just call that memory up. And as you're remembering that event and that day, I'd like you to go into that memory again as if you were actually there, to actually re-experience the greatest day of your life. And I want you to feel how wonderful it feels, how awesome and excellent it is. And just sink into it a little more deeply. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to remain in this state of consciousness, this wonderful feeling throughout the remainder of this presentation. So go ahead and open your eyes. So hopefully everyone's feeling really great right now. So what we just did a little experiment or a little exercise that shows the power of the imagination and how our imagination can orient our minds in a particular direction. And the orientation of that mind can have a huge influence on and impact on how we experience our day-to-day lives. And also, if I happen to botch this presentation completely, at least it will be the best day of our lives. Okay, so let's get started. So, title of this presentation is Experiencing the Quantum Energy Field. It's like, well, okay, wow, that's a pretty good title. There's lots and lots of interest in the quantum energy field these days. So, but before we get into experiencing it ourselves, I'd like to ask a few questions. And the first question I'd like to ask is, what is the quantum energy field? It's a very great question. So, what the quantum energy is, it's the 21st century buzz phrase that's been created by scientists who are exploring and trying to understand the universal vibrational energy field that underlies the creation of everything. Okay, now throughout history, there's been many, many other names for this quantum energy field, such as the divine, the universe, collective consciousness, the life force, chi, prana, and God, and many, many, many other names. So what science is discovering is what mystics, gurus, shamans, and healers have known for thousands of years. And what they're learning is that this energy field responds exceptionally well to human consciousness. So another way to say that is this energy field responds exceptionally well to our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, and our intentions. And what it wants to do is to create those things in our lives, whatever they are, good, bad, or indifferent. There's no judgment. So I am not a research scientist on the field of quantum energy, but if you're interested in more information like that, I highly, highly recommend that you look into the works of a guy by the name of Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's been researching the quantum energy field for the past 2 decades, and he's created this wealth of information. They're having some fabulous breakthroughs. Or you can look into his colleagues' work at the University of San Diego, who have recently been awarded a $10 million grant to study the effects of meditation on diseases such as cancer. So lots of exciting stuff happening in the world of research these days. Now, before we get into experiencing the life or the quantum energy ourselves, it's very, very important to understand the necessity of healing the resistance and blocks that prevent us from experiencing the quantum energy field. Okay, this is very important, so listen closely. So when most of us go in to experience the quantum energy field, we do so in a state of deep relaxation. So there are other words for the state of deep relaxation. Some people call it meditation. Other people will call it a trance state, but whatever it is. So whenever we go into this meditative state, what happens is that our mind slows down. Okay, so technology speeds our mind up. Meditation slows our mind down. And scientists can actually hook up wires and stuff to your brain to measure your brainwave cycles. And sure enough, when you relax, your brainwave cycles slow down. And what's happening is that you're entering a different state of consciousness. Okay, so when you enter this different state of consciousness, something happens. And what happens is that this thing called the critical faculty of the mind will let down. And so what the critical faculty of the mind is, it's this invisible and protective barrier between the conscious and the subconscious minds. So when you go into a relaxed state, let down the critical faculty of the mind, all of a sudden you've opened the doors to the subconscious mind. And when you open the doors to the subconscious mind, all of a sudden you're standing in the living room of the quantum energy field. So if the subconscious mind is the living room of the quantum energy field, it might be a good idea to know a few things about the subconscious mind. So let's take a look at the word first, the word subconscious. Okay, the prefix sub means under. So the subconscious mind quietly hides underneath the conscious mind. So when our conscious state of mind, when our awake state of thinking, which is what we're in right now, the subconscious mind quietly hides underneath, and we're usually not aware of it when in our conscious mind. And what the conscious mind is, or the subconscious mind is, it's the home of the non-physical aspects of the human experience. So this includes our intuition, our imagination, our dreams, our creative flashes, our memories, and for the purposes of this talk, it especially includes our emotions. And so when we think of entering the quantum energy field, it's really, really important to understand the nature of emotion. So emotions are born to be experienced. That's it. That's their only job. And when they are experienced fully, they simply recycle back into the quantum energy field. However, all of us have a natural tendency on a subconscious level to avoid experiencing unpleasant emotions. So when we avoid our unpleasant emotions, it's really important to understand that we're doing this without intention or awareness or conscious knowledge. So it's happening on a subconscious level. So what we're doing on a subconscious level is we're avoiding our anger, our fear, our jealousy, our pain, our depression, etc. And when we do that, they get suppressed or stuffed into the subconscious mind. And so when we have stuffed or suppressed emotion in the subconscious mind, all of a sudden we have these little entities living inside of us of emotion. And all they want to do is they want to be experienced. That's all they want. So they'll start to create situations and circumstances in our lives so they can be experienced. So most people think, well, somebody did something to me and it made me really, really angry. When more often than not, probably just the opposite is true, that you have anger living inside of you, and these other people unknowingly have become props in your one person play to help you experience your anger. So what will happen if we have suppressed emotion into our subconscious that we'll start to see repeating patterns of the same pain over and over and over again? Perhaps you have problems with finances over and over and over again, or perhaps you have the same problems with relationships over and over again, or maybe in health, or maybe you have problems with authority over and over again. So the cast of characters has changed, but the situations remain the same. So you might look back over your life and think, well, do I have any repeating patterns? Well, it brings up the question, well, who are these unfortunate people that experience these repeating patterns of pain? Well, the answer is everyone does. Everyone has these suppressed emotions unknowingly stuffed in their subconscious, creating these repeating patterns of pain. And there's another word for suppressed emotion and repeating patterns of pain. And the word for that is called suffering. So suffering has been with people throughout the ages since people have been around. And it's baffled the wisest sages and the smartest mystics throughout history. And they ask the question, why do we suffer? And why do we create most of it by ourselves? So it's really important to know that that the suppressed emotions that we carry and the repeating patterns that they create, these create blocks and resistance to experiencing the quantum energy field. So it's really important to heal these things when they come up. So here's where I have to throw in a little disclaimer. So here is the fine print or the red ink. So listen closely to this. The quantum energy field is a very, very high vibrational energy field, and it resonates at a very, very high level of integrity. Okay. So when we go in to connect to this quantum energy, what will happen is it will raise your vibration in your body and in your energy field. So what happens then is that the lower vibrational energies that we carry inside in our body, in our aura, such as suppressed emotions from the past or negativity, they do not resonate with the quantum energy field. So what may happen is that these lower vibrational energies may come up to be purged, to be released, or to be healed. And for some people, this can be somewhat of an uncomfortable experience. However, when they are healed and when they are released or when they are purged from your system, it increases your capacity to experience the quantum energy field. So what happens when that happens is that your life has gone through an improvement. You know, your experience of life has gone up a notch and will also have a positive impact on everybody you come in contact with. So it's really, really important to see your challenges for what they truly are. And what they are is that they're opportunities for growth. Okay, so here's where we step into a universal truth, and that is healing and spiritual growth cannot be separated. They're one and the same. They're salt and pepper, bread and butter. So the higher you grow and the more you evolve, at times, the greater your challenges may be. However, as you also evolve and grow, you will see your challenges for what they truly are. And instead of avoiding those challenges, you're going to step into them aggressively and you're going to take the challenge on because you know that when you heal those things, you're going to go up in vibration. And then as you evolve more, you're going to be more and more well equipped to deal with the challenges as they come up. So this brings us to the point that every ascended master throughout history, whoever you can think of, Jesus, Buddha, any of those guys, they have had to learn how to become a master of their own emotional states. And that does not mean they avoided their unpleasant emotions or depression or hatred or anger or whatever. That means that when they experienced them, they went into them fully so that they could release and heal them. So this brings us into the beauty and the magic of meditative healing, such as hypnotherapy, Reiki, certain forms of yoga, energy healing, and many, many, many other modalities that are popping up these days because they're so successful. And so what these modalities can do is that they can accelerate the healing and growth process. Because what they do is they take you into a relaxed state. It lowers the critical faculty of the mind, and it opens the subconscious mind where all those suppressed emotions are. And there are many, many, many techniques that they can help heal and release these suppressed emotions from the past. And sometimes the healing happens very quickly, sometimes it's very effortless, and sometimes, and most often, it's very permanent. And so when that happens, your repeating patterns of pain stop, your energy is freed up, and you're a clearer vessel for the quantum energy field. So that's why if you work in hypnotherapy or Reiki or energy healing or certain types of yoga, that, you know, I just want to say to you that if you engage in those modalities, you are in a very, very sacred profession, because what you're doing is you're taking people and releasing their greatest fear and their greatest pain, and you're helping them go up a notch in vibration and improving the quality of your life. So if you do that, then bless you. Okay, so the next question I like to ask, is there anything we can do to prepare to experience the quantum energy field besides healing? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. So you can raise your vibration by living or experiencing universal virtues. Now, there are many, many, many virtues that we can experience. And what virtues are is that they're behaviors that increase the experience of being human. So they elevate the experience of being human. And there are four pillars in spirit. There are four virtues in particular that are the pillars of spirituality. They create the cornerstones and they create the pillars of spirituality. And I do complete workshops on these virtues and master classes, but I'm just going to mention them in passing to save time today. But what those four virtues are, what you can experience, which will raise your vibration, are compassion, self-acceptance, forgiveness, and gratitude. So those are the pillars of experiencing a spirit, raising your spiritual vibration. And just by experiencing those things or living those things, it will take your energy up a notch. Okay, so now we've learned about what the quantum energy field is, the necessity of healing our resistance and blocks, and the value of living virtuously. So this takes us into the actual experience of the quantum energy field. So here's where it gets exciting. So the first question you might ask is like, well, what's it like? You know, what is experiencing the quantum energy like? Well, the first thing to note is that it's different for everybody. You know, so you're going to have your own unique experience of whatever it is, but there are some common experiences that overlap for everyone. Now, when I ask people, you know, have you ever experienced the quantum energy field before? And they say no, I'll ask them a few more questions. And then they tend to say yes, because this energy is very, very close to us. It's inside of us, it's around us. We're essentially dissolving our unawareness of it when we experience it. Um, so most people have experienced it sometime in their life, but they just didn't recognize it for what it was. And so for many people, it happens at those peak experiences in life or the best day of your life, like the one we're having right now. So those are times when people can experience it naturally. However, when you go into a meditative state to experience it, here are some things you may experience, you may feel or go through. The first one is when you go into a meditative state and you start to feel tingling sensations anywhere in your body. That's it. So many people feel tingling sensations. Also, many people, when they are just beginning, they might feel a little dizzy or a little spacey when they go into it. And that's because what's happening is that the biochemistry in your brain is getting reworked to become an open channel for this energy. So there might be a little dizziness and spaciness that goes with that. Um, some people, when they meditate, they are very visual. So they'll see colors or sacred objects. They might see ancestors or spiritual guides. You may feel mild electricity running up and down your spine. You may feel prickling sensations or tingling on the top of your head. Many people feel like their hands are heating up, almost to the point of burning. Others will feel their heart chakra opening up. And many people, me in particular, this happens to me all the time, is that I'll feel small vortexes of movement inside and outside of my body. Those like little tornadoes or those little spinning circles that you see when your computer's thinking. So I'll feel that like coming off my hands. Um, Other people will feel very deep peace, calm, and warmth inside of their body. And other people may feel centered, grounded, or very safe. So, it'll be up to you to be able to interpret what your experiences are, but more than likely, you're not going to forget it when you experience it. Okay, so that's what we may feel in the meditative state when we go into experiencing the quantum energy field. And if you do experience anything like that, what I'm going to highly, highly, highly recommend that you do is you tune into that vibration at least once a day, even if it's for a few minutes in meditation, because this is going to start to have a profound impact on your life. So, what are some of the results you may see after you awaken to experience the quantum energy field in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead? It's a really good question. So, your life has changed big time. You're going to notice it. And there's a huge amount of things that can happen. But I'm just going to go through a little laundry list of what many people may experience after they open up to the quantum energy field and start to experience it over time. So, you can have frequent experiences of deep peace and calm. Unexpected feelings of happiness and joy can come up. This is a good one. This happens very frequently. Relationships can improve, and sometimes they can improve just by themselves. Circumstances preventing you from experiencing the quantum energy field can be released and let go of. This was a big one for me and still continues, that your creativity can increase. That's very common. Your intuition and your psychic abilities can sharpen. Your awareness tends to increase and you can sense energy even when you're not in meditation. So, like for instance, I can feel it right now. Um, Life tends to take on more meaning and purpose. A desire to contribute can emerge, and so you want to give and be involved. Well-being can increase in every aspect of your life, not only physically and emotionally, but also mentally and spiritually, and of course, financially. And as I mentioned earlier, healing can accelerate, so your subconscious charges may come up very quickly and intensely, which is a good thing. Life can get more interesting, exciting, and fun. Synchronicities or um, meaningful coincidences can become more common. Prayers get answered. Problems start to improve by themselves. Life can get more effortless, and you can get into this thing called divine flow. Abundance can radiate. There's always enough, and your needs are always taken care of. And of course, miracles can happen. So, okay, so now we've learned what it can feel like in meditation, and we can see how it has an impact on your life in the days, weeks, years, and months that follow. So this, at this point of the game, if you're in it this far, this is where life gets very, very, very interesting. So this is where we get into what's called energy transference. Okay. So energy transference. So I live in the United States, in a very conservative part of the United States. And so the idea of energy transference is a little outside of the box. But if you go to someplace like India, the idea of energy transference is just assumed into their culture, and they're used to it. It's no big deal. And what they call it in India is they call it diksha. And so, what diksha is, it's a transference of the quantum energy field through an awakened practitioner to a willing participant, usually with the intention of healing or awakening. And how that is done, so it can be done just by placing hands on the head, like in Reiki. It can be done with hands at a distance where the energy comes off at a distance. It can happen through a practitioner's eyes to the recipient. And for those who are very, very powerfully awakened, it can happen just by their presence. So they can walk into a room and everybody gets enlightened. And I've actually been in the presence of a couple people like that, and it's just absolutely amazing. I didn't know people like that existed in the world. So what I would like to do now, I would like to take just a little divergent course here for just a sec, and I'd like to share with you a story of one of my awakenings. So I've been through three very distinct awakening experiences in my life. The most recent one happened in December of last year, so that's had a bunch of stuff come off of that. But I'd like to share a story that I went through in 2008 and 2009. So in 2008, I was working as an exploration geologist in northern Canada up near the Arctic circles in a remote field camp. And at that time, I've learned of this organization called Oneness University in India. And they were an experiential university. They weren't an academic university. And what they claimed is that through the Oneness Diksha, laying on hands to your head, they could create a neurobiological shift in your brain to help you become open to experience what they call divine energy. Okay. So when I first heard that and read about it or saw it on a video or whatever, I thought one word popped into my mind, and that word was cult. These guys are a cult. Stay far, far away. These guys, they're crazy. But I continued to read their books and I watched their videos. And then as I learned more about them, I understand a few things. And one thing I understood was that, okay, this organization is huge. They had three different campuses in southeastern India. If you combined them all together, they had been the size of like a small university in the United States. And by the time I had found out about them, over 1 million Indian nationals had gone through their programs, as well as thousands and thousands of other people from other parts of the world. And they had constructed this enormous temple. So I thought, okay, these guys are big. And they're like, taking everyone through divine energy. Okay, whatever. And then so I read and then I watched their videos some more, their testimonials of people that had gone through their programs. I was watching these people and I thought, you know, these people, well, they're kind of normal. They're just like normal people. Their heads weren't shaved. They weren't wearing colorful robes. I thought, oh, okay. And then the thing that was the real hook for me is that back in 2008, these people were deeply committed and actively pursuing a very, very positive vision of the future. Now, in 2008, seeing a positive vision of the future was very difficult. And so in 2024, it's even more difficult. So, not a lot of people have a positive vision of the future. And so that was the hook. So I said, okay, I'm going to go for a week to one of their programs, whatever. So I went to Fiji to one of their satellite campuses. And I stayed there for a week and I went through one mystical experience after another, after another, after another, after another, till I was completely exhausted. So they definitely delivered the goods. I came back home and I could feel that my lower three chakras were open all the time. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what to make of it. And so I didn't do anything. I just went back to work as a geologist, but I could pay attention to what happened in my body. And so 6 months later, I went through another experience. This time I went all the way to India. And after a week of being there, um, I felt like I'd come a long way. I'd spent a lot of money. I was learning from people who were younger than I was that didn't know half of what I knew. And I felt like I really wasted my time and my money, and I was really disappointed, and I was kind of really bummed out. And so the last day of that week was my birthday, it just happened to be. And there's the last presentation of the day. It's going to be a 2 or 3 hour presentation. And I didn't even really want to go, but I went anyway. And I was in a room with about 40 other people, and it was dark, and I was kind of sitting to the back, and I didn't really want to be there. And this little guy comes in, this little impish guy by the name of Ananda Giri. And so he was the lead DASA of the entire organization, the DASA or teacher. And he's this impish guy, very charming, and everyone loved him. And so when he spoke in public, he would pause and his eyes would glaze over and you could tell he was tuning into something that the rest of us wanted to tune into. So and so as he was giving his presentation over this 2 or 3 hour period, every time he stopped to pause, he was looking in my direction. Now, the room was dark and I don't think he was looking at me intentionally, but what I could feel over the 2 to 3 hour period, I could feel the energy coming off his eyes and going into mine. And I felt like I was plugged into a light socket for like 2 or 3 hours. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced. And so when I came back home, I could feel all my chakras were open. So all of my energy field had been completely rewired. And of course, that's going to get reflected back to you in your physical life, and things that aren't resonating at that vibration may leave your life. And so I went through a very unexpected divorce, lost my home, my job, my stepkid, and I lost my dog. And then after about 6 weeks after going through that experience, I was sitting in this one room basement apartment going, how the hell did I get here? Yet at that time, I could feel this incredible energy coming through my hands all the time. The downloads continued for months afterwards. Wonderful new people entered my life. And at and I was working as a hypnotherapist in a cancer unit at that time. And um, so I started experimenting with hands-on with cancer patients. And I had like, I don't know, maybe 10% of the people that I worked with went through these like miraculous healings that were just, unexplainable to the doctors. And then I had all these other amazing experiences with other patients. And then I began to do presentations. I've incorporated into all my one-on-one healing sessions. It's going to be in our presentation today. And the energy has just continued to grow and grow and grow ever since. So that's kind of a dramatic experience of what an awakening can be. But I just wanted to give you just a little bit of my story. Yours experiences will be different. But that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So now we've gone through what the energy feels like. Okay, we've experienced it over time. We're doing energy transference. So now what are the applications of this quantum energy field? Well, one thing it's really, really great for that I've been doing for the last 30 years with people is it's really great for emotional healing. So you release the subconsciously suppressed emotion from the past, people's repeating patterns stop, and the quality of their life improves. Okay, I've been doing that for a long time. It's really great for that. I've also seen it work in physical healing. Now, I've taken people through physical healing. That's really not my forte. That's not where I focus my energy. But what Dr. Joe Dispenza and his crew his associates and his colleagues from the University of San Diego are going to find out over the next 5 years that this energy can be an amazing tool for physical healing. And it's going to open new doorways in the world of medicine. So it's very, very exciting times. I've helped people in business, like entrepreneurs, turn their business around when you're on the cusp of failing. And what we're seeing now, I'm not so sure if they tune into the quantum energy field or not, but they're definitely into the visualization process. And now start to see it in professional athletics. So I'm seeing a lot of it. And so when I start to think about what are the possibilities of using this energy, well, I start to think big and limitless. And I think, okay, humanity is on the cusp of this enormous transformation that we're going to go through. We're on the cusp of going through this enormous evolution. And so what can happen if we can learn to use this energy with, trained practitioners and fuse it in and revamp all of our broken systems. So in the United States, all of our systems are broken. The healthcare system's broken, the education system's broken, the legal system's broken, the political system's broken. The environment needs help. So what if we could plug it into all these different areas of life and truly have a positive impact on the way we live our lives collectively? So I don't know what the answers to those questions are, but I'm really eager to find out, and we are taking steps to try and do that in our little community. So that's really great. Now, before we go spewing quantum energy out into the world, we have to remember that it operates at a very high level of integrity. And so we have to try and match that integrity so we don't create disruptions all over the place. So here are some minimum requirements that I think we need to use to maximize the application of the quantum energy field. The first one is we need to think of other people. Okay, so other people are our mirrors, and on an energetic level, we're connected to everyone. So essentially, other people are us. So if you go around in the United States these days, any metropolitan area, you can see where there are thousands and thousands of people who are not figured into the equation of living. So another thing we need to do is we need to love others unconditionally. So no matter what anyone has ever experienced in their lives, we need to be able to see the spark of the quantum energy field in them because everyone carries it. And the people we really need to remind ourselves who have this spark of energy in them is us. Each person has it. That includes you and me. So we need to remind ourselves of that. And then we need to appreciate the interconnectedness of everything. So we are energetically connected to our planet. Our planet, we need to see it for what it is, and it's a living creature. Everything on this planet is alive. The rocks, the trees, the air, the water, everything, all the creatures that live on it. And so if we want to develop a genuine symbiotic relationship with our planet on an energetic level, we need to take that into account. Also, I mentioned this earlier, but we need to see the light of creation in every moment. And that includes when our challenges come up. And we need to see our challenges for the possibilities for growth that they truly exist, and to step into those and to heal those things. And then the last thing, this is the one I really like, is that we're going to need to learn how to use our collective imagination, collectively, to create a positive um, vision and a positive alteration of our world, to change the world in a positive way. So we're going to need to do this collectively as a group. And so science has been telling us for as long as since I've been a kid, is that we only use 10% of our brain, so when we start to go into relaxed states and engage in the quantum energy field and into our imagination, our subconscious, we're going to start to use the other 90% of our brain. And we're going to be able to do things we never even imagined possible. So, okay, so that is it for the talking part of the show here. So I'm going to end it here. I want to make a few announcements before we get into the meditation, because when we're done with the meditation, we're all going to feel a little relaxed. So just a couple announcements to end off. So if any of you are here today because you're checking me out, because you're thinking of taking a hypnotherapy training course through Arhanta, I'd love to have you as a student. If you're not sure, when you're kind of on the fence, don't hesitate to contact me. I'd love to meet you. You can ask me any questions you want. And the way to get a hold of me, see, I'm on Instagram now. You can do a Google search on my name, Joseph Drumheller. You can probably get a message to me through Arhanta Online. And we also have our own academy. It's called JDH Academy of Wellness. So you can contact me there also. And for those of you that are here today because I sent you an email, you're going to get a follow-up email in the next day or two, and it'll have those links on it, so you don't have to worry about it. Also, another thing, this is very exciting. So I've taken a number of people through this experience that we're about to go through, and many people after the experience, they want to continue the connection afterwards. And so what I've done is I've created two global, global meditation groups. So we meet a few times a week in silence on WhatsApp. So there's no cost to be part of this community. And what we do is that we go into the experience collectively, and you can actually feel the energy coming through in just like 10 minutes. And it's awesome. I love it. So if you want to be part of that, we would love to have you. And you can contact me through the other ways, like JDH Academy of Wellness, if you can remember that. And also, if your challenges come up and you need help getting through those challenges, the best way to do that is to get help. Get help from someone, because that accelerates the process. And if you do need help in that area, I'm your man. So I've been doing this for a long time and an expert at my craft. So please don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's take a short break. Let's take a break for 3 to 5 minutes here, and then we'll come back and go into our meditation. So get a drink of water, stretch, do what you need to do, and I'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, let's get into our meditative state now and go into experience the quantum energy field. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to get relaxed. Get yourself in a position where you can meditate for a few minutes, and we'll get started. So I'm going to take myself out of here visually so I don't become a distraction. And I'm going to play a little background music. Okay, so get yourself nice and comfortable and situated comfortably. So what I'm going to do to start this meditation, I'm going to read a little story, and this is going to help us relax. And this will do what I mentioned earlier, calling lowering the critical faculty of the mind. All you need to do is just to kick back and just relax and start to let go and let your mind slow down. And just take this as a sacred moment in your life, because not many people take the opportunity to slow down in the busy world that we live in. So take one more deep breath, start to let go. Throughout the course of my life, I've been amazed and mesmerized, awed by the power of words. Seemingly simple phrases and sentences can have an intentional or unintentional impact on the entire course of someone's life. Personally, I've always been fascinated by the word relaxation. It's a word that has such a powerful vibration. It can't really be encompassed by many other similar words, like peaceful, calm, or serene. Or effortless, tranquil, soothing, or restful. And it's all very amazing the impact these words can have on the very fabric of your being, where it's still, motionless, and centered in the very center of nothingness. And some of my favorite relaxing words are very often found in nature, like a gentle sky, a placid lake, a cool breeze, or the stillness of night. And sometimes an image can capture the same feeling, like a moon on a motionless lake, the majesty of a glorious mountain peak, or the divinity of a glorious sunset. The words and the images all leading us to that sacred space deep down inside, where we are at one and at ease, in a state of blissful and serene peace. Very calm, very peaceful, and very deeply relaxed. Very calm, very peaceful, and very deeply relaxed. Calm, peaceful, relaxed. Calm, peaceful, relaxed. Go ahead and take another cleansing breath. And we'll begin our meditation. Imagine in front of your eyes the face of your parents. Thank them for all the strength and support they have given you. Deeply wish for their well-being. Now slowly see them merge into you and become one with you. Inhale. And as you exhale, gently say to yourself, we are one. Imagine in front of your eyes the face of your siblings and friends. Thank them for all the fun and learning they have shared with you. Deeply wish for their well-being. Now slowly see them merge into you and become one with you. Inhale. And as you exhale, gently say to yourself, we are one. Imagine in front of your eyes the face of your partner, past, present, or even future. Thank them for all the love and understanding they have given you. Deeply wish for their well-being. Now slowly see them merge into you and become one with you. Inhale. And as you exhale, gently say to yourself, we are one. Imagine in front of your eyes the face of your children or yourself as a child. Thank them for being part of your life. Deeply wish for their well-being. Now slowly see them merge into you and become one with you. Inhale. And as you exhale, gently say to yourself, we are one. Imagine in front of your eyes the face of your colleagues and associates. Thank them for being part of your success. Deeply wish for their well-being. Now slowly see them merge into you and become one with you. Inhale. And as you exhale, gently say to yourself, we are one. Imagine in front of your eyes all life on this planet. Connect with all people, the animals, the birds, the fish, the water, and the air. Be thankful for this gift of life. And realize that your existence is inseparable from theirs. Deeply wish for the well-being of all life. Now slowly see them merge into you and become one with you. Inhale. And as you exhale, gently say to yourself, we are one. Now allow yourself to expand as you connect to the entire universe. Visualize the living and the non-living, all forms and the formless, the physical and the non-physical blend, become one. There are no boundaries between space and time. There is no division between the me and the not me. All that there is. And that is limitless consciousness. You are this limitless consciousness. Inhale. And as you exhale, softly say to yourself, we are one. So continue to rest and allow yourself to open up and feel the quantum energy field. You may begin to feel unusual sensations inside or even outside of your body. It may be a feeling of tingling or gentle movement. Perhaps it's a feeling of warmth. Or maybe it's simply deep peace. Or possibly you may feel as if mild electricity is passing through your consciousness. You may feel illuminated with beams of light coming into your body. Or it may be accompanied by color, visions, awareness, or very pleasant feelings. Whatever it is, just soak it all in this very precious and sacred moment. Now let's continue on for the next few minutes to deepen this experience in profound silence. So just continue to breathe and to relax for the next several minutes in silence. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Slowly come back to the world of the conscious. Place your hands together in prayer position and rub them together gently. Close off your energy field. And when you are ready, please take your time. But when you feel like you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and gently drift back in to the conscious world. So welcome back, everyone. So I wanted to say thank you very much for joining me today. I love this stuff, and I hope you have too. If you ever have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to contact me. And remember, you'll get a link at some point to watch the replay. So this is being recorded. That's it. So I'm going to take another break here. Anybody who wants to stick around for questions and answers afterward, I'll be back here in just a few minutes. So until then, namaste.